Hello music listeners, underground enthusiasts, and anybody else who gritted their teeth and paid the $10 shipping for the new Claro merch. I had to get it. What was I gonna do? Not get it? Fun fact about this video, a little behind the scenes information for you guys out there who want to know how the sausage gets made. I recorded this entire video with the phantom power off. So this is my second time doing it, this time hopefully with audio. I know that I haven't made one of these videos in about a month now, and I feel like after I kind of passed that year-long milestone of creating content, as my creativity and desire to make fun, entertaining, community-oriented, educational videos on music, I feel like as that rose, my motivation kind of stagnated and dropped a little bit. So I appreciate your patience. I'll kind of try to figure out whatever the fuck this is, and hopefully as I get on the other side of it, we can make better videos than ever, and you can watch them. So for the second time for me, first time for you, let's talk about some songs that I've gathered up that I think are worth talking about and I have thoughts on. So, thanks for listening. The first song we're going to get into this week is Lore 2 Milligrams with Female Trouble, which is actually a cover of the theme song from John Waters' 1974 film of the same name. But Lore really makes it their own here, so I wanted to talk about it because I love this cover. Right out of the gate, this track's brooding bass groove is really enticing. It's a warm tone paired with these kind of watery waves of guitar chords, and it all builds up a rather mysterious psychedelia sound. And I love how tense the guitar grows to be in some sections, piercing this otherwise hazy atmosphere on the track. And Lore's sultry, delay-soaked vocals blend pretty beautifully into all of it, hitting these breathy melodies and these powerful 70s bass croons. The entire song is just such a meticulously crafted vibe, and it plays off really well. They do a really great job breathing life into this track, I like hearing a cover, and it's like, yeah, sure, the melodies are the same, the structure and the writing, it's a pre-existing song here, but the person has kind of taken it, done something that is transformative, something that makes it worth listening to beyond the context of the original song, and I think that Lore has done that here. It's a really fun song to listen to. I love it. Then we have got a Nico North track with Wavesoldier, and I just can't seem to get enough of Nico's sound. The more I listen to it, the more I am drawn into this, into the massive foggy ambiences and piercingly sharp, stuttered percussion hits, and the insistently sleepy vocal delivery that Nico employs here, and really expands upon and experiments with this cloud rap sound that once dominated SoundCloud. The jagged cuts and the ghostly vocal samples, Nico's dry mix over a rumbling and kind of sludgy 808, it's all really textured and it's nice to listen to. And honestly, his reluctance to really layer his vocals honestly works way more to his advantage. I love the contrast between a rather dry vocal mix and this infinitely cavernous production. It makes his words sound so crisp and so heavy and so impactful. Nico knows what he wants out of a song, and he executes it pretty well every time. Very consistent. I love it. We've got a new flatroom track in the form of Kill Your Competitor, which is a pretty nice, warm, and bouncy pop track with an absolutely fucking electric hook. And the dance and punk kind of inspired percussion really helps drive it along and create some really good textures on the track. And it seems to flip-flop between this softer ambience in the melodies and a much harsher, buzzy pop sound, and I really enjoy how they flow together. And yeah, there's sharp transitions, right, between kind of the different energies of the track, but it's not jarring in any way. It doesn't kill the momentum here. I think that you can have these very sharp, noticeable transitions and also have the momentum of the song carried forward. It sounds really great. And honestly, between these crisp snare claps and cascading synth leads, it's some fairly poignant and introspective writing as well. There's a tinge of sadness in the second verse that I think shows a bit better than the first verse, and it kind of showcases this emotional dissonance between what is wanted and what maybe exists, what is immediately available, and then reactions to kind of seemingly inescapable situations and a no turning back mentality. It's a pretty incredible synth driven pop track with all of the satisfying nuances that this scene can provide, and it's a balanced feat of technical precision in the production, and then also emotional appeal as well. I love this. I haven't heard a whole lot of Flatroom, but this definitely is not a bad introduction. We got a new Jane track in the form of Flash in the Pan. I honestly think that a big appeal to the song, at least for me, is that Jane is pretty direct in her approach here. It's an open and honest track, and the production kind of acts as the vehicle, the vessel, for her to operate in that context. The production continues to adhere to her snappy, staticky, alternative pop sound, but it also maintains a balanced temperament for the most part, giving Jane quite a bit of room to get all of this information now. The writing here is very dense. There's a lot being said here, weaving anecdotes and metaphors in and out of these somber melodies, all hidden under a frantic and foggy beat. It plays out really well. It's a confident and powerful track, and it kind of crescendos into this muddied and distorted guitar pulse, and I think that reflects the emotion of the track pretty nicely. Another killer outing for her for sure. She's on a fucking roll. New Tim Lake in the form of Sabotage, featuring Murrurmur not only as a guest vocal artist, but as the producer as well. This is a really relaxed electronic pop sound, and I like it a lot. The dampened drums in the beginning sound super pleasant under Tim's wide and crisp mix. It's got a smooth groove to it that's just really nice. And honestly, all of Murrurmur's production on this is very soft. It's very pleasant to listen to, thriving on these warm grooves and these sliding synth passages, almost chill hop in a way at some points. Tim and Murrurmur make for a pretty good vocal combination as well. While Tim's angsty delivery depicts an awkward stagnancy and stripped emotional state, Murrurmur's vocals feel wispy and ethereal, otherworldly, floating high above the mix. It's a nice chill track where Tim gets out some heavy emotion within the confines of Murrurmur's crushed production. It's great. And then we've got yu-dachi with Teriyaki. I'm pretty excited about this one. It's been almost a year. It's been 8 months since the last yu-dachi track, so I'm pumped to see a new one. I love how playful this track is. The chiming piano passages that climb up and down this song, while these super fast rattling percussion hits fire off, is just so much fun to listen to. There's so much movement and so much life in this track, and the choice of texture plays out nicely here too. You know, you have the soft piano melodies, but then you also have these super clicking percussion hits. The first half of the track almost kind of sounds like half jazz club, half DIY indie, and when the more electronic elements kick in, the energy is elevated and things go from organic and smooth to buzzing and digital, but that core playful accessible jazz ethos remains, and then it all wraps up nicely into a bit more of a melancholy outro, just beyond fun to listen to. I love this one. And then to close things out, we have Evergarden with Shake, which features some guitar work from hiraeth as well. The track is eerie and brooding. These super bare guitar plucks that pulse far in the background sound super great, super deep, while Evergarden sounds beyond destitute. I also love the foreboding kind of rattling kicks. They almost kind of sound like chains on the back end of them. And as the song progresses, the vocals are pushed far into this guttural and strained register, which is honestly an accurate reflection of what's going on in the writing, which is desperate and uncertain. It's melodrama, it's indulgent. It's so indulgent in the concept that I can't help but love how much Evergarden commits to this such a desolate sound. It's really great. It's really heart-wrenching. And that's going to be it for the songs that I wanted to talk about. Hopefully we can get one out next week on time, on schedule, and we can continue to do that ad infinitum as long as I keep making content, as long as I have this channel. Thank you all for being patient with me. Could have chosen to watch another guy talk about underground music, but hey, you stuck with me, and I won't forget that. One more thing before I go, and this is just a fun little anecdote, a peek into my sick, twisted mind, just to give you guys a, little behind the scenes work. So I go to Sheetz a lot, right? It's a gas station that also has a kind of little restaurant in there. It's fantastic. If you're not from the East Coast, then you don't know what it is, and I pity you. I feel really bad for you. But essentially, I go to Sheetz, and I get these Deer Park water bottles, right? Because they have the nipple top. It's nice. It's, you pop that shit open, you put that shit back. It's nice. So what I do is periodically I go to Sheetz and I get one of these. But then when it runs out, what do I do? Buy a new one? No, sir. I go to the office water cooler that I have in my kitchen and I glug some water back into this bitch. And so instead of buying a water bottle that is like metal and I can reuse, I just periodically get a new Deer Park. And I'm sure that's an awful thing that I do. Feel free to let me know that it's an awful thing that I do. But I do it, and I'm not ashamed. I won't be ashamed. Well, that just about does it. Catch me in the next video where I explain in detail why the Persona 5 soundtrack is the only good jazz album.